Hey, I am Brandon James. In this video, we are going to be looking at Mark 1:21 through 34. All right, jumping into it, we see that it is the Sabbath. Jesus enters into the synagogue and he begins teaching. He's saying things that people are kind of questioning, like where is he getting this authority? Where is he getting the ability to talk like this, things that we have never heard before. And immediately, one of Mark's favorite words, somebody walks into the synagogue and it's a man. He's got an unclean spirit. He's a demon-possessed man. And he looks at Jesus and he says, "What do you do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." And this is immediately we see this title, the Holy One of God. And maybe this is a title of divinity, but maybe this is also a messianic title. It's probably at least a messianic title. But this demon is calling Jesus the Holy One of God. We get this description of who Jesus is and where that authority comes from. Jesus heals the man of this demon. The demon is cast out, and Jesus says to be silent. He doesn't let the unclean spirit speak. And so why wouldn't Jesus let the spirit speak? Well, it's because it was unwillingly forced to witness Jesus, and he wouldn't accept it. It wasn't somebody recognizing Jesus because of the Holy Spirit or because of a change. It was a forced response to who Jesus was. The demon was forced to recognize the Holy One of God, which is really interesting. It points to the fact that the demons know who Jesus is and know the power he has to call him the Holy One of God. They're giving him a title. They're giving him authority. And hopefully it tells people that are questioning where Jesus is getting this. But instead we see in Mark 1:27 that the people are amazed and they question among themselves, saying, "What is this? A new teaching with authority. He commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him." And then they leave. We get in verse 28, it says "at once," and then in verse 29, "immediately." And so immediately they leave the synagogue and they enter the home of Simon and Andrew, along with James and John are there. Simon's mother-in-law, or Peter's mother-in-law, is ill with fever, and immediately they told him about her. Like, "We've seen what Jesus does. We're going to bring him to our home, and we're going to get my mother-in-law healed." Obviously, if you can do something about it, you do. So they bring Jesus, who showing power, to their home. So Jesus goes to the mother-in-law who has a fever, and he grabs her hand, gets her to walk. And then this woman who's been sick for who knows how long, who's had a fever, starts cooking. She starts making food for Jesus and the disciples that are there. Wild. She just begins to serve. It gives us a picture of love and gratitude that we can have when Jesus enters our lives, when Jesus becomes a part of our life. We should, in practical ways, be showing our gratitude. So when Jesus heals you or saves you, when you have salvation, how can you practically show the gratitude? It's the question of the Christian life, of because we have been saved, because we have such grace, how do we respond? How do we act? And in this case, we see that it's with gratitude that we're supposed to be feeding and that we're supposed to be doing something. Jesus later on in the gospel says, when you do these to the least of me, when you feed the hungry, when you clothe the needy, when you're giving money to the poor, you are doing this to Jesus himself. So we can show gratitude physically in this realm to people, to the least of these, when we are able to respond graciously to people, when we reject racism, when we reject sexism, when we reject all the isms, capitalism, when we reject the things that are not of God, the things that are not life-giving. We're showing gratitude. We're showing our response to what Jesus has done. And then the story kind of just goes on to tell more that Jesus has healed many. And it says many. Don't think that means that there are people who are left unhealed. Instead, it's a description of the number of people that Jesus has healed. But he's healed a number of people with diseases, and he's cast out many demons. Mark does make a point to say that some are sick and some are demon possessed. Really, though, it's showing that Jesus has power, that he has authority to do these things. So that's where we're going to end today, with the main question of being, how can you show gratitude for what Jesus has done to you?